Today, security testing is often treated as a separate activity done late, manually, or sometimes not done at all, and that is too risky. In this video, I am going to show you how you can integrate OWASP ZAP security scanning directly into your Selenium automation framework so that security becomes a part of your regular test execution and not an afterthought. We will see how Selenium can drive the application like a real user, while ZAP silently intercept traffic and scan for vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, security misconfiguration, and other common OWASP risks. The best part, you don't need to be a security expert to get started. This works perfectly in CI/CD pipeline, and it adds huge value with very little extra effort. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand how ZAP works with Selenium, how to run an automated ZAP scan, and how tester can contribute to application security early in the software development lifecycle. So if you are a QA engineer, automation tester, or someone curious about shifting security left, you are in the right place. If this kind of practical real-world testing content is useful for you, welcome to Test Story Automation from strategy to execution. Here we focus on hands-on automation, security testing, and modern QA practices. If this video is helping you, please hit the like button. It really supports the channel. Subscribe for more content on Selenium framework, OWASP ZAP, AI in testing, and CI/CD review documentation. Alright, let us continue with today's topic and move ahead with ZAP scan setup. This is OWASP ZAP application that I have downloaded from official OWASP website. For those who are new to it, ZAP is an open source security testing tool that is widely used to scan web applications for common OWASP vulnerabilities. ZAP works by intercepting application traffic and then performing active or passive scan on that traffic. If your goal is to scan security issues while your automated tests are running, then you must understand the official ZAP Web API Client documentation. This page is extremely important if you are planning to integrate ZAP into your automation framework. It contains complete setup instruction, configuration step, details on how to run scan. I strongly recommend everyone to go through this documentation at least once. It provides a lot of useful information about the API and how we can consume directly from our test framework. Alright, you will also notice it provides ready to use sample code in multiple languages such as Java, Python, Shell script. This makes the integration very flexible regardless of the tech stack you are using. At high level, to run ZAP scan, we need proxy host, proxy port, ZAP API key that we will get from the ZAP application running on our system, target URL against which we want to run our scan. All application traffic is routed through ZAP. ZAP then takes care of scanning the application for security vulnerabilities in the background. While your tests continue to run, we will use these exact details in our Selenium framework, the next step. Now let me walk you through the Selenium framework I am using for this video. This framework is built using page object model design pattern, which helps keep the code clean, modular, and easy to maintain. The framework contains a base class for common setup and configuration, page classes where UI locator and page specific actions are defined, test classes that hold the actual test scenario, a few utility classes. All required dependencies are added in form.xml file. To control which tests we want to execute, we use a TestNG XML file. This allows us to easily include or exclude test sheet without changing the code. Running the test is very simple. From the terminal, we just execute ambient test. This command triggers the test execution. Selenium start interacting with the application, and ZAP intercept the traffic to perform security scanning in parallel. To get started, we need two things. One is ZAP application. I will download it from the official website and run it locally. Go to Maven repository and search for ZAP API Client. Alright, select the version that you want and copy the dependency. Add this to your form.xml Once added, Maven will automatically download all required libraries. I have a config properties file where I define few parameters that I need to execute our test. So I will add few more details here like proxy host, proxy port, and API key. These values are read whenever required in the framework. So I will add ZAP specific configuration details here like ZAP host. So I will keep this as localhost. Alright, ZAP port, I will keep this as 8080. Then API key that I will get from the application that is running on my system. Alright, so I will open the ZAP and go to tools and options. Alright, and search for API key, locate the API key, and this is the API key. I will copy this and use in my config. Alright, so I will create a Java class ZAP util under utility folder. Define a private static client API and name this variable as API. Now I will initiate a client API and will make sure that only one instance of client API is communicating with the ZAP application running on the desktop. Alright, so create a method get client and keep this private static. Return type of this will be client API. Then write if API equals null, if API equals null, only then initiate a new client API. Alright, so API equals new client API, and we need to have pass host for the proxy, port, and API key. Alright, so we already have few methods defined in config reader for ZAP host, ZAP port, and ZAP API key. So we'll use those methods. Alright, use config reader dot get ZAP host. Then write config reader dot get ZAP port. Alright, then we will use config reader dot get ZAP API key. So these methods are defined in config reader dot Java class, and we are just utilizing this method to get the data from the config.property files. Alright, then return the API. Then we will create a method to get the proxy. Alright, so I will name this get proxy, and the return type will be proxy, and we'll keep this public and static. Alright, so we need to import class for proxy. Alright, then proxy and the variable name will be proxy is equals new proxy. Then we will need to set proxy for HTTP and SSL. So write proxy.set HTTP proxy. This requires ZAP proxy address, and ZAP proxy address is combination of host name and the port number. Alright, so we will utilize config reader.get ZAP proxy address that we have defined in our config reader. Alright, and same for the SSL proxy, proxy.set SSL proxy equals config reader.get ZAP proxy address. Alright, and then return the proxy. Fine. Check the details that are provided in the active scan section of the ZAP API client documentation. So how to create a scan and how to track the progress. Okay, so we will be utilizing same code here. Okay. All right, create a method public static run active scan and we'll pass URL here. Okay, so I'm naming this target URL. Fine. All right, keep the return type as void and use the method defined as getClient. So client API client equals getClient. Okay, we defined this method, right? Okay. Then, all right, then we will write system.out.println and write a message that will be shown on the terminal like starting active scan on this target URL. All right. Then we will call this API. All right. API response equals client API dot scan, and we need to pass few parameters here, URL and few other parameters as well like recurs. We will keep this true, in scope false, scan policy and method post data we will keep as null. All right. And this will throw exception, so include exception in method signature. All right. Then we will get the scan ID from the response. So string scan ID equals rest, then the response parameter and dot get value. All right. It's showing error, so we need to change this to API response element. All right. Now print the scan ID. The system.out.println ZAP active scan started with scan ID and print the scan ID. All right, plus scan ID. Fine. Then we can also track the progress. So define a variable progress, int progress equals 0, and we'll write a code to track the progress. All right. So while progress is less than 100, we will keep iterating this loop. All right. So write thread.sleep and give 5 second, 5000 millisecond. So we will get the status of this response. We'll track the status of this progress like this. API response, status response, I will give this variable name equals client dot scan dot status, and we will pass the scan ID. So we will get the status of this particular scan ID. All right. Since thread dot sleep throws exception, so we need to handle this in method signature. All right. Now need to track the real time progress. So progress equals integer dot parseInt and API response element status response that we just got with the help of scan ID dot get value. All right, just print the progress. with percentage. Okay, so system.out.println ZAP active scan progress is and progress, and this will be in percent. All right, so put that percentage symbol. After this while loop, when the progress is equals 100, then write the ZAP active scan completed, right? So system.out.println ZAP active scan completed for this target URL. Alright, so I will take a pause here. We'll continue in the next video where we will see how we can integrate ZAP scanner in our Selenium automation test. Okay, so see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Thank you.